Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The future of salmon farming in Macquarie Harbour remains up in the air tonight, with the federal government postponing by a year a decision on the status of the endangered Maugean skate. Environmentalists, the salmon industry and all sides of state politics have condemned the delay, which pushes a decision beyond the next federal election.
A decision to potentially upgrade the Maugean skate's status from endangered to critically endangered remains on hold. Recommendations now due by October 30th next year. Federal Environment Minister Tanya Plibersek still needs to decide whether to extend salmon farm leases in Macquarie Harbour.
We think that the federal government really needs to provide certainty for Tasmania. This industry is so important to our economy and so important to our people. So we are disappointed that a decision has been pushed out for another 12 months. Politicians
from both sides of the fence on the same page.
The fact that we are now seeing a minister basically kick down the road a can to beyond the next election. The Crimean War was fought in less a period of time.
The Greens lashing out that the decision is one of political expediency.
Such a shameful decision by federal Labor to prioritise their own political survival over the survival of a critically endangered ancient species.
The Bob Brown Foundation says there are an estimated 40 to 120 adult Maugean skate remaining in the wild. The state government arguing the scientific data hasn't changed.
The science now clearly indicates that the Maugean population in Macquarie Harbour is the same as it was 10 years ago.
Salmon farmers worried for the industry's future.
This is about actually people's lives, and it's about people having confidence to go about their lives with certainty.
You know, their mental health is certainly affected by not knowing what the future holds for these workers and their families.
Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
A milestone in the Bridgewater Bridge project, with the finishing touches on the piers which will support the massive roadway. The government hailing the project as a success in its troubled state infrastructure rollout, but not everyone is convinced.
The long-awaited crossing the government hopes will help it over troubled waters. Construction of the Bridgewater Bridge now on the home stretch, with the final piers being poured.
We're totally out of the water and we're up to the superstructure part of the job.
Around 1,000 concrete segments have been created and trucked in from their Bridgewater precast site to make up the 1.2 kilometre overpass, which is tipped to slash commute times.
We're talking about more than 20,000 movements per day, and I know one of the key reasons why we've backed it federally is because it will get freight moving faster. And the faster you can move freight, the better the productivity is.
The federal government funding the majority of the project, with the state government putting up $157 million towards it. The opposition says it's another major build that's late and faced cost overruns.
It is $200 million over budget.
But not according to the government.
It's on budget, on time. There was an extra contingency put in for works on either end of the bridge 2 years ago. That was part of the budget for the overall bridge.
The $200 million figure is what we were advised, and from the original estimates of what the bridge costings would be, and that was when it went through the Public Works Committee.
An uneven section of the overpass also sparking concerns about further delays. Experts say it won't affect its progress.
The contractor has made some modifications to those temporary works, and by the end of this week we anticipate that the alignment will be resolved.
The bridge is expected to be completed by July next year. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor is urging the state government to rule out budget cuts to police following the release of the department's annual report. The opposition claims $40 million is being slashed from frontline policing, while $20 million is being wiped from crime investigation resources.
We must make sure that Tasmania Police are able to perform their job.
Tasmanian mother Brittany says she was held at gunpoint in an attempted carjacking months ago, but little progress has been made on her case.
We're all having trouble sleeping. Sometimes the kids don't even want to go to school because they don't want me to be left alone.
Police Minister Felix Ellis has dismissed Labor's claims, saying funding is increasing in the budget to recruit more officers and for crime investigations. Calls are mounting for the Premier to release the details of a review into the government's mandatory pre-commitment pokies card. Greens MLC Cassie O'Connor is urging Jeremy Rockcliffe to implement the scheme in full in a bid to curb problem gambling harms. It comes amid growing concerns the government is walking away from some aspects of the card.
What's he trying to hide? It's clear now that the Liberals have capitulated to the industry.
The Premier says the review will help guide the government's approach to the policy. The drivers of a car and a truck have escaped serious injury after a crash at Campbelltown this morning. The vehicles colliding at an intersection at the southern end of town, crushing the SUV's passenger side and causing the truck to roll over. Motorists were told to avoid the area while authorities cleared the scene. Tasmania's new Northern Police Commander is settling into his new role 2 days into the job. Marco Godini has also worked across the southern and western districts since joining the service 22 years ago. His top priority is implementing feedback from a recent public survey.
Certainly for the northern district, having done a little bit of research in the last 24 hours in particular, high visibility policing, increased patrols across our communities, and also a particular focus on youth crime.
He is replacing previous Commander Kate Chambers, who's taken up a job in the Northern Territory. Tasmanian thylacines will be back within the next 5 years. That's the bold ambition of a group behind a world-first de-extinction project. Scientists have already made a significant breakthrough in making it a reality, and now they're on a mission to debunk public misconceptions.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Once the plot of a sci-fi classic, now a potential reality. The Tasmanian tiger is on the brink of a Jurassic Park comeback. It seems like a scene from a movie, but the group driving the thylacines revival is adamant it's not cooking up something dangerous.
Looking at bringing back a genetically authentic thylacine to fill its place in the Tasmanian ecosystem.
While it's brushing off similarities,
Get questions around, will it be similar to Jurassic Park? No.
its new education campaign appears to draw inspiration from the film.
I'm also known as a thylacine, but call me what you like.
The 4-part series aims to debunk theories, answering questions about how the tiger will make a return.
90% of them come from a place where it just needs some basic education of how the process will work, how that fits in, and just to ease people's minds.
Researchers at Colossal Biosciences have already reconstructed the world's first genome for the tiger with almost 100% accuracy, meaning they could be back in the wild by 2029.
Which is better than they could actually achieve really for any living animal. They have the DNA worked out, they have the RNA worked out, and so it's just a matter of moving forward at this point.
While supporters believe this project could open the doors to more de-extinctions, the ethical implications of bringing animals back from the dead are also raising concerns, with some comparing the science to playing God.
If that's not going to work how it should, then it would be stopped immediately. This is a recent extinction and very, very different to bringing back a dinosaur.
Scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Victoria Eastoe, 7 Tasmania News.
Federal member for Lyons, Brian Mitchell, says he won't stand in the way of Rebecca White having a tilt at federal politics. It follows growing speculation the former state Labor leader may put up her hand to run in next year's federal election for Labor. Mitchell hasn't confirmed his plans but has endorsed White as a strong prospect.
So I'm fully supportive of Rebecca seeking federal office if she so chooses to do so. Now, if she chooses not to, I'm very happy to, of course, put my hand up again.
Rebecca White has not yet said whether she will seek pre-selection. Some of the biggest names in Australian sport are gathering in Hobart tonight for the Australian launch of a new ute. 7 Tasmania reporter Rebecca Gateneris caught up with them a little earlier.
Kim, the Tasman Ute remains under wraps behind me for now, ahead of its big reveal, and what better place for its Australian launch than in the state it was named after. Tonight's event has brought some legends of Australian sport to Tasmania, all of who featured in a celebrity-studded ad promoting this latest addition to Kia's fleet. The likes of Steve Waugh, John Aloisi, Ash Barty and David Boone were among 20 icons starring in the campaign, along with Lance Buddy Franklin, who stopped by for a chat a little earlier.
I thought the Kia Buddy did make sense, but no, the Kia Tasman's incredible. It's such a special city, and absolutely love my time down here.
Tonight's event has been timed to coincide with the Tasman's global reveal at the Jeddah Motor Show in Saudi Arabia, where the covers will finally come off. Kim?
Well, Spirit of Tasmania 4 will soon set sail for Scotland, with temperatures plummeting in its port in Finland. The ferry is being moved to protect it from icy winter conditions. The ship will be moved to Leith near Edinburgh in the coming weeks. Construction work on Spirit 5 remains unaffected. TT Line says it's continuing to explore opportunities to lease or charter the vessel. Small businesses will be given some energy bill relief, with the state government injecting $1.8 million into its Power Smart program. The initiative offering grants to help cover bills and give businesses the tools to identify money and usage saving strategies.
These supermarket fridges may be cold, but it's small business owners feeling the financial heat.
Our power bills went up 40% in the last couple of years.
With the food and grocery sector especially copping the brunt of increasing bills.
Overall costs are going through the roof, and it's impossible for small businesses to continue to put their margins up.
The state government helping to provide cool relief to some hip pocket pain.
$450,000 over 4 years, so a $1.8 million project.
Giving businesses up to $1,000 to help cover costs for energy efficient audits, with over 400 small enterprises set to benefit from the scheme, including shoppers.
Reduce their costs, reduce the cost of doing business, and be able to charge less prices possibly, because they don't need the same level of margin to cover the expenses.
The program also aiming to empower owners to understand their energy usage, manage costs and make informed decisions.
Small businesses rarely know exactly how much it costs to run each of their appliances within their businesses, and that's contributing to the increasing cost of doing business.
Hoping to build the skills and knowledge needed to find the best possible ways to power their businesses without being hit with hefty bills.
It's important for me to know what each component of my business costs to run and whether or not it's even viable to run some of those things.
Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7, Tasmanian News.
Boat Harbour's famous waterfront is set for a multi-million-dollar makeover, with construction to begin next week on a new community hub. Project illustrations show a multi-purpose space and cafe overlooking the beach. It will also house the Surf Lifesaving Club. It's hoped the build will be finished by next summer. Local charity Speak Up Stay Chatty has reached a major milestone. Over 10,000 of their well-known stickers now in circulation across Tasmania. The simple yet powerful visual helping to spark conversations about mental health.
I get a wave of emotions when I see them. The sticker is a reminder of where we've been, but also a big reminder of how far we have to go and the difference we can keep making.
Important visual reminder about promoting positive mental health and well-being, but at the same time bringing it out in the open and really reducing stigma that's associated with help seeking.
Around 17% of Tasmanian vehicles sport one of the bumper stickers.
Hurricanes all-rounder Nicola Carey is embracing her move up the batting order after playing a leading role in their opening round win last night. Commanding performances from the Canes with bat and ball, giving hope for the season ahead.
1 for 9 after 11 balls, Sydney's celebrations would be short-lived. Nicola Carey coming out swinging from her very first ball, smashing 7 boundaries to set the Canes up nicely on their home pitch. The quick-fire 52 off 38 proved Carey's slight move up the order was the right call from coaching staff.
I was a little bit surprised, to be honest, but yeah, took it on board and did a bit of work over the pre-season, I guess, like figuring out what that looks like for me. I'm not someone who's, going to clear the ropes and all that sort of stuff, so might look a little bit different, but yeah, I'm certainly embracing it.
Tabitha Saville, the next highest scorer, 23 not out as the Canes set 141 as the score to beat. Heather Graham then starring with the ball in hand, her 4 over, securing 3 wickets for 19 runs. New Hurricane Lauren Smith netting 2 of her former teammates, 2 wickets and a catch for import Chloe Tryon. Tabitha Saville sending Shabnam Ishmael packing before she'd even faced a ball, while Lizelle Lee was having a ripper night behind the wickets with 2 stumpings.
She was even saying I even caught the bail when someone bowled someone, so she was very chuffed with herself, but she's always really solid for us behind the stumps, so yeah, we're really lucky to have her.
Top of the standings after round 1, they play Thunder again on Thursday night in Sydney.
I suppose we've got a good look at each other tonight, and I guess going up to North Sydney, it's usually a pretty good wicket, so not overly enjoyable to bowl on, if I'm being honest. I'm not looking forward to that, but yeah, look, hopefully plenty of runs out there.
And Matthew Wade will step up as Australia's fielding and keeping coach for next month's T20 series as he announces his immediate retirement from international cricket. With 4 Test centuries to his name from 36 caps, he's only been playing short-form matches for Australia of late. The announcement follows his retirement from Shield cricket at the end of last season, although he'll continue to play white ball cricket for the Tigers and Hurricanes. After scoring the Tigers 2 goals in their first win of the season at Dutch import, Hida Mikkels is settling into the Hockey 1 League nicely, confident they can tackle powerhouse Brisbane Blaze.
I obviously saw them in the past couple of weeks playing and know that they have a very good team and they won the last couple of years. It's going to be a tough one, but we're definitely going to give it our all.
The home ground advantage could come in handy for the men who are still building momentum in the short season.
It'll be a test against Brisbane, but I think we love playing down here, and we almost have a 12th person on the pitch with the crowd, so I think, all things considered, it should be a really good game.
Belt says he was surprised to be picked up at the Hockey India League auction and can't wait to get up there in December. And that is Tonight in Sport, Kim.
OK, thanks, Nick. Peter Murphy will join us after the break with the weather.
Good evening. Hobart warmed up to 23 today. Launceston reached 20, Devonport 18 and Burnie 19. St Helens on top with 24 degrees as above average temperatures were experienced in all districts apart from the west. Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park 20, Lyawini, Lowhead, Smithton and Flinders Island 17, King Island 16 today and Strawn 15 degrees. We did have widespread low cloud over the west today, mostly clear skies for the rest of Tasmania, just some high cloud drifting over. Now that cloud pushing over the north of the country continues and a few thunderstorms with the cloud over central Western Australia. The high remains over the Bight tomorrow as a cold front moves over the Southern Ocean and looms on our horizon. We'll have westerly winds at 15 to 25 knots. They'll reach 30 knots over the north and south with swells to 3 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued for waters from Stanley to St Helens Point and from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point. Hobart a top of 18 and partly cloudy. Tomorrow a shower for Geefton, 16 the maximum, 15 for Bothwell. Launceston 22 and mostly sunny, partly cloudy for Devonport, 19, 21 the high for Cressy. Burnie expecting a fine partly cloudy day, 18 the maximum, 15 for Strawn with a few showers, a shower for King Island as well. Curry 16 degrees, 20 for St Helens and partly cloudy, Swansea 22 tomorrow and 19 the top for Orford. On Thursday a few showers statewide ahead of a contraction to the west and far south. Winds will shift southwesterly so things will cool. Fine over the central north on Friday, a few showers over the south and east, and on Saturday a mostly fine partly cloudy day, winds though becoming gusty northwesterly later. Sunny in Perth tomorrow, fine, and 26 in Adelaide, partly cloudy in Melbourne, sunny weather over Sydney and a shower or two and 27 for Brisbane. Bit of cloud over Hobart at 17, sunny in Launceston still, 19 degrees and windy in Devonport 17. And Kim, that wraps up all you need to know about the weather tonight.
And wraps up all you need to know, all your news for this Tuesday as well. On behalf of the team, thank you for joining us. Good night.